Good evening and welcome again to the chefandthegrape.com. I am your host, Chef Kristof, and this is the channel that will save you money. The best wines in the world for far less than most of your friends are paying. But how is this possible? Because we give you the best values before the big publications are talking about them. The off-the-grid artisan producers who are dedicated to creating the best wine possible every single vintage. So tonight's episode, we're actually talking about Merlot and a totally out of the way place, the Okanagan Valley. It's Tinhorn Creek Merlot, which when you hear about the accolades is stunning, but this is a microcosm of a producer. The entire Okanagan Valley produces less than 1% of what California does. This is a tiny place. I am your host, Chef Kristof, and for those of you who don't know, I was a trained chef for 25 years before I got into the wine industry. I'm a certified wine steward, did the French Wine Scholar program, did the Champagne Master program. So yeah, I get out there and I taste literally thousands of wines a year. Most years about 2,500, 3,000 wines. And it's also that you can have the best value possible. Let's talk about this. Tinhorn Creek 2012 Merlot. Let's take a look at the bottle. It's a very classy looking label. Now I have to say I have a bit of a history with Tinhorn Creek. I was there in 2012 with my family. We actually got to stay there at the property for a couple of days. Spend some time with my wife and my daughter who was 1 at the time, and enjoyed putting dirt in her hair. And then I was back again in 2013 with the Wine Bloggers Conference, their first time ever in Canada, and I was lucky enough to have Sandra Oldfield on the panel that I moderated, talking about Okanagan terroir, and then got to go to Tinhorn Creek where their amazing chef, Jeff Van Geest, actually made the paella for a number of us, about 50 people, and he made it over an open fire. It was beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about the winery itself. There's lots to say. I mean, it's an amazing property. You can talk about their sustainability. They were Canada's first carbon neutral certified winery, like the first in the entire country in 2009, I believe. All the way up until present, 2017, Sandra is named one of the 100 most influential women in Canada. So, and there's a long litany of accolades in between, not the least of which, best winery restaurant in BC 5 years in a row. Well done, Jeff, and your team. And then the Merlot, long history. 2001, it was actually awarded the Canadian Wine Awards Red Wine of the Year, and then bring it all the way up to present in 2016, it won the Best of BC Varietal Awards, so Best Merlot in the province out of 300 wineries. Now, if you take a look at this in the glass, 2012, this is 5 years old, and there's very, very little bricking to it. It's a slight bit of umber to the rim on the nose. Carries a lot of what we expect from Merlot, but I expect this from Right Bank Saint-Emilion Bordeaux Merlot. I don't expect it from New World Bordeaux. It's got the fruity tones, right? It's got some cherry blossom, some plum, some raspberry. It's beautiful. But it also carries this really savory, woodsy, forest floor almost type of a characteristic. On the palate, oh, bright, brisk, lean. It's so vibrant. It's so full of life. 5 years old, and it drinks like it's brand new. I would think that this was 2 years old. Sommelier's Dream, full acid, really well balanced, but full acid. That's just yearning to be paired with really great, rich food. And then the tannin structure is medium plus. We're in there. Super fine, right? Great concentration of flavors, and the palate really does mimic the nose. There's all those wonderful berry tones. They're young berry tones turning into slightly darker berry tones, almost like a raspberry chutney or something like that, or a raspberry blackberry chutney, or something like that, right? With like a little bit of caramelized onion in there or something. It's got a beautiful savory characteristic. And worthy of note, actually, I poured this for some of the best wine people in Canada. Poured it for them blind at a tasting of Right Bank Bordeaux's, and not a single person guessed that it was from BC. True story. Anyways, beautiful wine, beautiful wine. 92 points, easy, and I think it's about $30 Canadian. Steal of a deal, absolute steal of a deal. This is gorgeous Merlot, and now for a serious back vintage, at least for this part of the world. Here is the Tinhorn 2007 Merlot. So a 10-year-old Merlot, and let's be honest, nobody thinks of Merlot as aging very well. It's just not something that's done. But in the right conditions, it actually can age, and it can age like a charm. I am lucky enough I get to taste Saint-Emilion and Pomerol and the Land de Pomerol that are 10 and 15 and 20 years old on a fairly regular basis. And I mean, this honestly, if the 2012 was like Saint-Emilion, then this is almost like Le Land de Pomerol, because Le Land always carries that little bit of extra ruggedness. It's got a little bit more iron to the soil, and so it gets a little bit of a ferric, irony, gamey, almost a meatiness to it, which is really pretty cool in Merlot because it doesn't happen very often. It's big, it's juicy, and there's more of those developed aromas to it, right? There's more of like a black raspberry and a black tea. But once again, the thing that is so cool about this Merlot is it's not just straight fruit. It carries all of those other characteristics to it, and those travel straight through to the palate. Oh, still has that really bright, zingy acidity. Tannin structure is much bigger on this one. This is like medium plus to full tannin structure with a bit of heft and a bit of chew. Makes me want to like go downstairs and pull out a cigar and just start, smoking away, which I'm sure my wife doesn't want to hear. But brilliant cigar wine. Is not over the hill in any way, shape, or form. Although realistically, you should probably drink it in the next 3 to 7 years. I don't think it'll last another 10 years, but I would happily try a 20-year-old Merlot from them just to be proven wrong. Great concentration still. It's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. Just a little bit bigger in structure. Yeah, fantastic. I also give this 92 plus points. It's got so much dimension to it. And once again, somebody was picking this up 10 years ago. Well, 7 years ago, they would have been picking it up. They would have picked it up for $25-30. Steal of a deal. So I hope you get a chance to try the Oldfield Merlots. If you're not doing anything on Saturday, the 11th of March, I am actually the wine director for BC Uncorked, and we are so lucky. We have Sandra Oldfield herself coming down to BC Uncorked and pouring her Merlot. And if you're one of those very lucky people who got into the masterclass, which is sold out already, she'll be pouring the 2012 and the 2007. Amazing. But regardless, one of the 600 people down there, come on down and shake Sandra's hand and ask her your favorite questions about Tinhorn Creek, about sustainability, about how to make one of the best Merlots in this part of the world. It's going to be a pretty amazing evening. That's 11th of March at Westwood Plateau. Thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, if you're looking for great value in wine, thechefandthegrape.com. I'm your host, Chef Kristof. Thanks so much.